Welcome back. As you can see, I finally got a new microphone, so no more talking underwater for me. So the number one thing that people always ask me is, can you please make a tutorial on how to draw this or how to draw that? And sometimes that's tough to do as a hyperrealism artist because I take so long to do each section. You know, it's tough to record for that long and then try to break it down so tediously. But I was able to record myself drawing these lips back here, and I threw it together in a time lapse so that I can hopefully walk through it and tell you everything that goes on in my mind and what I'm doing on the paper to help draw these very realistic lips. So that's what we're going to be doing today. However, I will say that I won't be talking too much about the tools that I'm using, mainly because I already made a video about every single tool that I use and when I use it. So if you want to know all the tools that I use, I would highly recommend going and watching that video first. I put the link down below. Once you watch that, I feel like you'll have a base understanding of all the tools that I use and how I break them down, and then that'll really help with understanding how I put it together, which is what I will be going over in this video. So watch that first and then come here, or if you want to do vice versa, sure, up to you. So yeah, here's a full uncut video of me drawing these lips back here, and I'm going to break it down and tell you exactly how I do it step by step. Let's begin. So you always start with the base, and for the base I'm going to be using charcoal powder because it's very easy to apply, it's very smooth, and it's really good for building these tones that we're looking for. We are doing no detailing at all. We are purely just building the right values so that the details can sit on top. When I slow it down, you can see that I'm going in just slow circular patterns so that it's as smooth as possible, because again, all the roughness and all that stuff can be done with the detailing. But right now, we just want the tones correct. And I'm constantly looking back and forth between the reference and the drawing to make sure that these values are correct, because if they're not, no matter how much detailing you do and no matter how good the detailing is, it doesn't matter. It's not going to look realistic. So this is easily the most important step. Now for the details, I start with the darks and shadows first personally. Some people do prefer to start with the highlights, but I think that's pretty tough to do because the indented areas or the shadows create the negative space for the highlights to shine. So I like to start with the shadows first. So using the previously discussed pencils for shadows, I outline and I fill in the detail of the darkest spots. Basically anything that is darker than the midtones that we just finished up. You can see that I'm taking my time with the creases and the lines, and that's because I'm trying to make them as accurate to the reference as possible. Now, if you didn't know, I am using the grid method. I've erased all the intersecting points on my grid so that I can still see where everything is proportionally, which is very important. Even the lines on the lips are shadows because, again, they are darker than the midtones. They just need to be applied with a pencil that's lighter because, again, always make sure to look that the tones are correct. You can see that I blend the shadows to make them look smoother, but that did lighten them up. So I have to go back in, I have to repeat the darkening. Thus, the shadows do take a couple layers to do, but it's the only way to get both dark and smooth tones. So you just have to keep building and being patient with it. Now the next step is the highlights. Erasing is very important and I use many tools, so make sure to check out my tools YouTube video if you haven't already. Now, because the highlights are very abrupt and very clean cut and independent shape-wise, we will be using the strongest highlighter, which is the electric eraser. And I'm going in and I'm creating this very abstract pattern that almost looks like I'm cross-hatching. I'm going up and down and side to side to match the lines that I've drawn previously. I'm trying to get them in between all the lines that I've done. Now, one step down to this is the mono, which I will be using for the highlights that aren't as defined, but are still pretty independent. And then we have the 7056, which is for those more subtle highlights that help blend into the midtones. This is all your judgment, how you want to classify the highlights, but I do think this is the order in which they should go in. The final step is reinforcing these highlights and then touching them up until you're happy with it. So I'm taking a pencil and I'm darkening up against the strongest highlights to help make them pop more. This isn't a step you want to skip because highlights need to be reinforced to serve their purpose. And after I've gone in and I've reinforced all the highlights that I think needed it, I'm then just going in and I'm touching up here and there, being a perfectionist. I'm looking back at the reference and then at my drawing quickly a lot to see if anything sticks out that I might have missed, or maybe it's too dark or maybe it's too light. Now, ultimately, this step is up to the artist. If you're perfectly fine after reinforcing, then you're done. Or if you want to be very picky about it, like I am, you can spend, another hour on this step, which is typically what I do. But remember, the more you tinker with it, you can actually get to a point where it looks worse. So once you're satisfied, I think you're good to stop there. And there we have it. It's really that simple, and simple in quotes. But as long as you break it down by the base, shadows, highlights, touching up, and reinforcing, it's really not that hard to follow. That's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing and liking. It means the world to me. If you want to watch me draw this in real time and ask me questions that I can answer right then and there, make sure to head over to my Twitch. The link is down below. I go live Monday through Friday at 12 a.m. Eastern time. If you want to see daily content, make sure to head over to my Instagram and TikTok. And if you want limited edition prints or just want to see more of my art, make sure to head over to my website. Keep an eye out for a new video. Thanks for being here, and hopefully I see you soon.